Dead rappers come back to life, and the future is bright.
My name is Jenna Petrone from Casanova, New York. Let's talk about that.
Good mythical morning.
This episode is brought to you by Catullus.com. That's the guys with the goods, including the portable zero-gravity hammock.
This thing is comfortable. I was caught napping in it on video. Can you see that?
I do. And then I took it to my house, and I'm enjoying it there, but it's portable, so I can enjoy it anywhere I want to port it.
You can take it with you.
Every man who has a yard should have one of these. Catullus.com.
You may have heard in recent news Tupac or Tupac, however you want to say it. I usually say Tupac, but I have noticed that some of the really cool people say Tupac.
That can't be right. But what, in recent news, Tupac what?
Because you can say Tupac is back and it rhymes. Tupac is Bach is like saying that he's a classical music composer.
Gosh, you've just flabbergasted me.
Any way you slice it, Tupac performed with Snoop at Coachella over the weekend.
Yes, and hipsters were abuzz about this.
Now, he really didn't perform. It was a hologram.
Well, there was, for those of you who don't know, he was killed.
1996.
He's a rapper who was killed, and then afterward, Biggie was killed.
Yeah, but we're just talking about Tupac right now. Biggie wasn't there.
Hologram wasn't
They haven't
big
gotten
enough.
the hologram technology large enough to bring Biggie back. Well, that would be too much all at once. They'll do that next year.
Yeah. This is opening the floodgates, which I think is part of what we'll talk about. But Tupac was rumored to be living. There was this Elvis thing that happened with him.
Right.
That he's still alive. So now there's rumors abed that he was in the crowd watching his hologram perform at Coachella along with Snoop Dogg.
You mean Tupac was watching Tupac?
Yeah, with Snoop Dogg. Which Snoop Dogg is also dead. Almost.
That was also a hologram. Okay, now I was all excited when I saw this, not because I'm a huge Tupac fan. I mean, I like rap as much as the next,
rap fan,
34-year-old white dude who lives in Sherman Oaks, California.
Yeah.
But I was super excited about this because I thought they've created a hologram, like a three-dimensional hologram, like from Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like the kind where you can shine and create like a completely three-dimensional light thing that you can walk around. That's not what happened.
You can emit from a droid, and you can see it from any angle.
Not to disappoint you.
You're our only hope.
But this was actually a 2D image. In fact, we did a little research because we love to do research on this show. And we found out through the New Scientist, that's not like a guy who just became a scientist. That's a website that does research on things. That essentially the way that this thing works is they project an image onto a mirror that then reflects it down onto this transparent film that is very tightly, like it's this screen.
Like saran wrap?
Well, it's more than saran wrap. It's more expensive. And it's like at a 45-degree angle.
Plexiglass.
And it ends up looking like it's 3D, but if Snoop had walked backwards, he would have ran into this screen and ruined the whole illusion.
Well, I think Snoop was to stage left, or I don't know if that's stage right. What you're saying, it's one of those. If he would have been in front of it and then he would have backed up, he could have shattered the screen.
Yeah, very easily. And it would have ruined it because Tupac would have just crumbled in front of everybody and would be like, oh, wow, what a disappointment.
I think they knew, the people in the crowd probably knew that it was a hologram. But can you even call it a hologram if it's really two-dimensional? I can't.
They are calling it that.
I call it a 3D projection.
This thing has been estimated to have cost between $100,000 and $400,000 in order to pull off. I know that's quite a big range.
Don't they know how much it costs? Well, somebody paid for it.
Somebody does, but the company from San Diego that did this, AV Concepts, they said, well, this would typically cost between $100K and $400K. That was sort of the range that they threw out there. And Dr. Dre was the one who came up with this idea, orchestrated the entire performance.
And built the screen.
He did not build the screen.
Just like he builds all those headphones that the kids are wearing these days.
He subcontracted out.
Dr. Dre has a basement, and he hand fashions each pair of those Dre Beats headphones. Did you know that?
Yes, everybody knows that.
And now that he's got this holographic technology, he has holograms building headphones for him.
Holographic headphones?
Yeah.
That's something.
And Snoop Dogg is also dead.
Listen to who is not dead. Did you know that in Japan they have implemented this technology to create a pop star, Hatsune Miku, who performs regularly for thousands of Japanese people who are absolutely beside themselves about how awesome this hologram is.
Now, the first time I saw this footage on YouTube, my question was the same as Jason's question, which was, so who is this artist that's being represented by a hologram?
She is the hologram. She does not exist.
The hologram is the artist. And the people who pay tickets are paying tickets to see the hologram perform live. Can you, to be projected live.
And they're going crazy. They're going crazy over this. They have like glow sticks and they're doing it all in unison and everything. And the first thing we talked about this morning, I just don't think that this would fly in the United States of America. And here's why. We are way too cynical for this. It's like, okay, bring Tupac back from the dead. Cool. Have him perform at Coachella with Snoop. Cool. We like that. But just invent a pop star out of nothing and have her perform in front of us? We're going to be like, what? Okay, so what is this? A video game? Like, what? People pay to watch this? I don't think it would fly here.
But maybe we're just out of touch. Maybe, just a few years from now, the kids out there. You tell us in the comments, would you buy a ticket to, not to this girl, or maybe to Tupac? Or maybe, I guess what you're saying is, it's not that it's Tupac who's dead. That's what's valuable. It's giving the experience to someone who otherwise could never have seen Tupac, if you're into that kind of thing.
Right.
Live. But inventing somebody. A whole faction of people get upset when they realize that boy bands are manufactured.
Or like when Scotty McCreery was lip syncing on the Macy's Day Parade, and he was like, well, I gotta start singing now. And then he wasn't singing.
And that was a hologram. So this becomes full circle. But yeah, would you buy a ticket to see a by definition fabricated pop star?
No, but she doesn't mess up.
I'm not asking you, I'm asking them.
She's
I know
perfect.
the answer. She's huge too. I think she's taller than a normal human being.
I'd see that. I'd pay to see that. She's tall?
She's like
tall. 20 feet tall.
20 foot tall Japanese girl.
In this New Scientist video, one of the things that the New Scientist says is that he's excited about the possibilities for this technology, especially its utilization in teleconferencing.
So the scientist is most excited
about conference calls. Half of the people we have conference calls with, I don't care to see a hologram of them.
No. Even video chat is overrated. I definitely don't want to have the appearance of being able to reach out and touch. I think we can come up with better ideas than this. Tupac being the first of a cavalcade of these things. It's going to be the next 3D movie type stuff.
Okay, yeah.
People rolling their eyes, people.
Let's explore that. If we had this technology at our disposal and we were saying, you know what, Tupac's been done, teleconferencing, whoa, that's been done. What else could we do with hologram technology?
Okay, go.
You know how you record, like you'll journal to yourself sometimes. I don't journal anymore, but I used to. And you'll you'll tell yourself something that you want to remember. You'll go back and read it, and you'll be telling yourself, like giving yourself a pep talk about something.
Like an audio note, or a written note.
Like either you can write it, you can have an audio note.
Okay.
I'm saying, have yourself as a hologram to tell yourself something. So it's like you could go into the hologram room. Where it is, it's like, I need myself to give myself a pep talk about this job interview that I'm going in.
A pep talk self.
And then the last time I went to the job interview, I got all nervous and all sweaty, and I said that my favorite color was blue and that red represented me, and that was all wrong. Now I'm going to go in. So you pep talk self gives yourself a pep talk. That's what I would give myself. It's a pep talk in a hologram form.
All right, here's my idea. Deceased pets. You know how people will taxidermize, they'll stuff their pet. You go into a woman's house and she'll have a cat there.
Is it always a woman?
Once was alive. I'm just saying, for instance, it could be a man. It could be a child. But what it will be in the future is you go into a room, because the screen would have to be set up in a room and it'd have to be dark, etc., just like you're saying. And the pet would be there and you could play with it as if it was still living. And if your budget allows, you can set up a second one out in your yard so that you can take it out to use the bathroom, to do its business. And then so you've got footage. But see, here's the thing. You got to, while the cat or dog or pet is living, you got to capture footage.
Of it defecating.
Or you're going to have to pay someone a lot of money to do some CGI, like I'm sure they had to do with Tupac.
You know what? This isn't limited to
Deceased pets.
You could do this with like Grandpa. You know, Grandpa, you could say, Grandpa, listen, I need some footage of you before you die so we can have you at the backyard barbecue, you know, like the year after you. We can celebrate your birthday. We can have a birthday party for you next year, and you'll just be over there in the corner. And you're like, hey, I'm kind of stuck over here. I can't leave the screen, but I'm having a great time at my hologram birthday party.
That's not very tasteful, and I apologize for that. Let's spin the wheel and end this episode of Good Mythical Morning. The future is here, people. You know, it's almost holograms. It's almost hologram time in your home.
How will this episode end?
Call 911. How are we doing that? Are we really going to call 911?
We can't really call 911.
We're going to get your wife to come in and call 911?
No, but I'm going to call 911 and you be the operator.
Okay. (911), who's speaking? What's your location?
I don't think my location's relevant. Let me start with saying that this is not an emergency.
Okay, this is 911, not 411.
But I think you might be able to transfer me to an IT specialist because I cannot remember my admin password on my computer.
Sir, that's not what we do here.
But hold on, it had something to do with. It was like my nick. I think it was like a nickname.
What's your mother's maiden name?
Jenkins.
Okay, try Jenkins, but change the E to a 3 and the I to a 1.
Hold on a second. I don't. No, that's not it.
Okay, and change the S to a 5.
No, it was like a nickname.
Okay,
it was
goodbye.
something. It was
goodbye.
It was something I was called in middle school. It was like a nickname. I'm really tall. Middle school.
Try ladder man. See you tomorrow.
GMM, let's get away from reality. At the end, we'll spin the mythical wheel of mythicality. Whether it's afternoon or night, here's a warning. It's gonna be a good mythical morning, yeah.